Hello boys and girls. Now grade 1s today we are going to be learning about halving. So our maths today is going to be fun and super exciting, and I can't wait for you all to learn about this halving. So over the last few days we have chatted, and you might have heard the word half or halves or even halving. But today, we are going to learn exactly what that means. Now, if I am halving, what am I doing? I am taking one piece of something and I'm making it two. I'm sharing it into two. So, if something is shared into two, can it just be any two pieces? Or must they be equal pieces? Yes, that is right. They must be equal pieces. But what does that mean? So now I'm going to show you. I have this banana. And as you can see, it is one whole banana. But now my brother and my sister both want a banana for lunch. But they only want a small piece of a banana. They don't want the whole banana. They said that they get a little bit too full. So I'm going to take this banana and I'm going to cut it in half for them to have for lunch so that they don't get so full. So I'm going to cut one banana in half and share it between the two of them. I'm sharing between two people. So here's my banana and I have cut it in half. Can you see that? I've cut it in half. But have I really cut it in half? My sister is going to get this piece and my brother is going to get this piece. Is that fair? No, I didn't think so. My sister is going to be very upset if she sees that my brother has gotten a bigger piece of the banana than she has, because she said she only wants half of the banana. So, let's try that again. I am going to give my brother and my sister half of a banana each. So I'm going to take this banana and I'm going to cut it in half. Now, are they going to be happy with that? Is that a half? Yes, that is a half. Why is it a half? Now this is a half because these two pieces are exactly the same. This piece and this piece are exactly the same. This half and this half are exactly the same, and that's why when we put the two halves together, it makes one whole banana again. So this side must always be exactly the same as this side when we are learning and sharing and doing halves. Okay. Now, what we are going to do is learn about the number that makes a half. Now, we know we've heard the word half, but I don't know about you, but in this classroom, I haven't seen the number half yet. How do we know what the number half is? We know how to spell the number half. Yes, we've learned about that. But we don't know what the number is. And yes, half can be a number because one is a number, and like the banana had one banana and we cut it into two. So if we can write the number 1, how do we write the number half? So we have learned our number names. We have learned the number name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, all the way to 20. We have learned about this. So if our number name 1 has a number that looks like this, right? We all know that already. And the number name 2 has a number, oopsie, let me just write it like this, has a number like that. And 11 has a number like that. Now 11 is quite a long word. Imagine I say to you, I want to put 11 scoops of icing sugar into the cake to make it nice and sweet. And I had to go and write out 11 in the recipe. it just makes it so much easier to go and write the number. So 8 is like that. But now we get to the number name half. And how are we going to write this as a number? I'm going to show you. It is written like this. So that is how you write the number, the numeral half. Numeral is another name for numbers. So these are the words of the numbers, and this is the numeral. This is the numeral. And this looks a little bit different to our normal numbers. It has two numbers in one with a line separating them. Now this is called a fraction, and you are going to learn about fractions later on. Maybe next year or the year after, you are going to learn more about fractions. But for now, you need to know that this is a fraction, and this is how we write the numeral for half. Now, what does this mean? 1 line 2, it stands for 1 over 2 or 1 out of 2. So, it is basically saying that this whole banana becomes 1 out of 2 pieces, and this piece of the banana also becomes 1 out of 2 pieces. So we write that it is 1 over 2 is a half, because this is a half of a full banana, and this is also a half of a full banana. So we write it as 1 out of 2, because this is 1 out of 2 pieces, and this is also 1 out of 2 pieces. Now, we are going to practice a little bit of this. So, I want you to take out your Unifix blocks for me. And once you have that, I want you to sit up straight so that I know that you are ready for me to begin. Okay, good. So now that you have your Unifix blocks out, I want you to count 6 Unifix blocks. Count 6 Unifix blocks and put them aside. Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to try and tell me if you know what half of 6 is. What is half of 6? Now we just learned what half is. It must be 2 equal parts. So what is half of 6? Good. Half of 6 is 3. So if we take our Unifix blocks that were 6 blocks and we halve it, you will see that there is 3 Unifix blocks on one side and 3 Unifix blocks on the other side. So half of 6 is 3. And if you measure them up against each other, you will also see that they are even, they are equal. The one side is exactly the same size as the other side. And the one side has 3 blocks and the other side has 3 blocks. So we took the number 6 and we halved it, and half of 6 is 3. Now we don't have to write it twice because we know that the one side is always exactly the same as the other side. So we don't need to repeat it. We know that if we just write the number 3, or if we tell somebody that half of 6 is 3, we know that they know that the other half is also going to be 3, because halves are always equal. Okay, now that you have your Unifix blocks out, I want you to look at this worksheet. Okay, and it says, color half the dots in each shape blue. So, I want you to take out a blue pencil, and for now, I just want you to circle the word blue so that you know that you must color in the dots in blue. Now, this doesn't mean that you must color half the dots blue. So you're not just going to color half of one dot in the shape blue. You must color half the dots in each shape blue. So I'm going to do that quickly. But first, let's count how many dots there are in the shape. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 dots in this shape. Now I'm going to color half of the dots in blue. Now what is half of 4? Good. Half of 4 is 2. So I'm going to color in 2 dots. And now to make sure that I have done that right and that half of 4 is 2, I'm going to see. I have colored in 2 dots in blue, and 2 dots haven't been colored in. So it's 2 and 2. So I know that I've done it right because 2 blocks have been colored in and 2 blocks haven't been colored in. It has 2 equal parts and half of 4 is 2. So what I'm going to do is over here, you can see that it gives you a sum. And the sum says half of 4 is equal to, and then it has a little open block for you to write the answer. And we know that that means half because we just learned about it. That is the fraction that tells us that it is half. So it says, it reads half of 4 is equal to 2. And we know that because we just colored in 2 dots. So I'm going to go and write the number beautifully, the most perfect 2 you've ever written. You are going to go and write the number 2. And then you are going to go and do the rest of this worksheet exactly like that. Everything is exactly the same as that one, except now you've got to go and see. Half of 4 is, and you've got to go and color in half of 4 in this shape. And you're going to color half the dots in this shape, half the dots in this shape, and in all the shapes. So let's just quickly look at the bottom one. The bottom one, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots. And I'm going to color in half of them. Now what is half of 6? Good. Half of 6 is 3. So I'm going to color in 3 dots. And how do I know that I've done it correctly? 3 dots are colored in and 3 dots are not colored in. So they are 2 equal parts. I've halved the number 6. Then it says half of 6 is equal to open space. You are going to go and write the number 6. And you are going to go and do the rest of this worksheet on your own. Now, at the bottom, it says, color the other dots red. So now, those dots that you have not colored in, you're going to go and color in red. You're not going to color over the ones that are blue. You're going to go and color the other dots in red, the ones that you haven't colored in. So half of the dots in the shape should be blue, and half of the dots in the shape should be red. And that's how you know that you have done it right. Then it says, there are blue dots and there are red dots. So you're going to go and count all the blue dots in every shape and you're going to write the answer. Then you're going to color in all the red dots in all the shapes and write that answer separately. Blue dots and red dots. Then at the bottom it says, there are dots all together. Now you can go and count every single dot on the page in each shape and you are going to write that answer. There are how many dots all together? Then it says half this number is. So you are going to see if you can work it out what half of this number is. You can use your Unifix to see if you can work it out. Otherwise, you can go and count all the blue dots, because that's half of the dots, and write the answer. Or you can count all of the red dots and see what that number is. And you should get half of what this number is of all the dots all together. I hope that you all really, really enjoy this activity. And I hope now that you know what halving is. Now you can go and tell everyone what halving is. And you can go to Mom and say, Mom, look, I cut half a banana. And you can tell her what a half is. 2 equal parts that make one whole. Enjoy this activity, boys and girls.